Hello and welcome to more Vintage Cube. In this pack we got some good options actually. Time Spiral I love. This card is just, it does everything you want it to do. Drawing cards is fun, adding mana is fun. Just does everything. Vintage Cube is ending, we gotta go. We got Coalition Relic, which does a lot of things. It's a 3 mana colorless play that adds 2 mana of any colors you want if you charge it. So like, you get a burst of mana, which is usually all you need anyway. So you play this turn 3, on turn 4 you have 6 mana. You can like cast a Primeval Titan. Glenalendra is the next consideration. This card, I mean, it just counters Coalition Relic and Time Spiral. There are so many important non-creature spells in Vintage Cube, and just being able to say no is really, really valuable. I'm not sure what to do between all of these. Relic keeps us the most open. Glenalendra probably leads towards the best decks. You can go like mid-range, and then Time Spiral is, it's Time Spiral, it's fun. I'm just gonna take Time Spiral. I just love this card. It just leads to so much like, yeah, like we can get Time Spiral, we can get Mind's Desire now. It's just like doing this, you don't even have to go into Storm. Like Time Spiral into big mana is fun, Mind's Desire into big mana is fun. I think I like Mind's Desire more than Memory Jar because this effect is very rare. Even though it's probably going to come around, you can never be sure. Memory Jar, there's quite a few draw 7s. I mean, we have one. Time Twister draws 7. Wheel of Fortune draws 7. So I'm going to take the more rare effect. Yeah, there's Wheel of Fortune. So I think we take that. It is generally good in these decks. We could also take Basalt Monolith. That just helps you ramp out into like big strategies like this. It's also a good hit off Mind's Desire, just getting 3 colorless mana. Sometimes is what you need. Venser's Shaper Savant could also lead us into like a pretty nice blue deck. We did pass Glenalendra, and she's like one of the best things you can be doing in blue. So I'm just gonna take Wheel of Fortune and see what fun stuff is going on here. There's a Miscalc, there's a Koth, there's a Breeding Pool. I think I'm just gonna take Miscalc. A little bit of early disruption is good in basically any deck. Breeding Pool would have been nice. And then Coercive Portal, I explained this a lot, but when you have effects that refill your hand, like repeated incremental card advantage doesn't really matter. You need like basically burst card draw. So like, let's say you're comboing off or trying to storm out or something like that, and you Wheel of Fortune and then draw Coercive Portal. You basically have to like play Coercive Portal, wait a turn, and draw 1 card. You'd be much better off hitting something like Ponder or Preordain or even Miscalculation you can cycle. And that way you can keep digging through your deck to try and win on that turn as opposed to waiting. I'm looking between Vendilion Click and Emrakul the Promised End. So Emrakul is a great target for Mind's Desire. It's just a good win condition. It's a 13/13 protection from instants, which is most things. It has flying, it actually has trample. Vendilion Click is just like a really good card. I think I'm just gonna take Click. Blue has felt a little open this direction. So even if we don't go Storm, like honestly just having Click Miscalc as our first, as 2 cards out of our first 5 is probably good enough. Here I think we can take Chandra. Chandra's a great card. If we end up Storm, she adds mana. If we don't end up Storm, she does everything then. So yeah, passing Hazoret, but Hazoret's fine. I don't really think this is necessarily a deck that you want to play Hazoret in. So we can kind of move past that. Here I'm going to pick up, let's see, Crucible of Worlds would have been good if we had Coalition Relic, which seems like a weird combo, but Crucible's really good in like Burning of Jinye, Armageddon decks. So if you have like Coalition Relic, you have more fast mana so that you can get that Burning of Jinye cast and then rebuild with your Crucible. Dark Magician is fine. I don't love it in Storm, but it is decent. And then like Pyretic Ritual, but I'm just going to take Hallowed Fountain and be open to kind of what the packs are going to give us. Bit unfortunate we see Lotus Bloom and Steam Vents in the same pack, but Steam Vents is amazing in case we get high timed. It's just good fixing regardless of what's going on, so I'm going to pick that up. Bit interesting to see Vivian Reed still in the pack, but I'm going to take Ancient Grudge. Kind of makes me wish I had taken Breeding Pool over, I think, Wheel of Fortune. I don't remember what pack I took, or I passed the Breeding Pool, but Grudge is a really good card in this format, so I'm going to pass that. So Memory Jar did not wheel. Never really expected it to wheel. Here we could pick up either a Baral or a Thundermaw Hellkite. So another deck that I like is just like turboing out a Thundermaw Hellkite with like Seething Song and things like that. but I think Baral is probably going to be better for most things we end up doing. Path to Exile is just a great card. We have the Hallowed Fountain, so if we end up control, then Path is good, and I'm not going to play any of these other cards. That's a pretty late Koth, so I will take this Koth. Koth adds mana, but he also does other things. Nahiri is good. I also like Oblivion Ring, but I think I like Nahiri. We didn't get that Emrakul. Let's take Enlightened Tutor, Spear. So I'm not going to play that. Probably not going to play Enlightened Tutor, but I always forget about this card. So if we end up with some good enchantments or artifacts, then I could take it. I don't think Storm is particularly open. So I think I'm going to try and draft more like a blue-red mid-range-ish deck. I'm really sad Thundermaw Hellkite wield because Thundermaw in this type of deck is kind of nice. You can turbo it out with Chandra and Koth and then protect it with like your counterspells and disruption. Yeah, probably this is kind of why I said Glen Elendra is just the better pick. Glen Elendra in this deck would be absurd. Like Time Spiral is really only good in like a certain niche subset of decks, which is like Storm, anything big mana, or like basically all the degenerate decks. It doesn't do very much in these mid-rangey decks. So I don't love it there. I'm going to take Sphinx, passing on Mystical Tutor, I think. If I already had High Tide, then I could see taking Mystical Tutor. But Mystical Tutor sometimes comes around, and we don't have High Tide. And like, it's not looking like that whole Storm archetype is particularly open. So probably not playing Enlightened Tutor. These are like some maybes. And then our deck here actually looks pretty decent. We can pick up a Mana Leak. We are passing a Misty Rainforest to take Mana Leak. But even if we cut Nahiri and just go like blue-red, I'm kind of would rather have the cheap spell just to guarantee it. There's a Fire Ice. I love Fire Ice. And we're not passing on much, maybe like a Lodestone Golem. I really have never found Search for Azcanta to be playable, so I'm going to take this. This format's just like a little bit too fast for Search for Azcanta, in my opinion. Like, it is an incremental effect, and it was really good in Standard because you can like wait 7 turns. In this format, you can't really do that. Like, comparing Search for Azcanta to Sheldock Isle is kind of night and day. Search, like, draws you a card. Sheldock Isle draws you a card and casts it without paying the mana cost. And that difference is very substantial. I'm going to take Taiga. We have an Ancient Grudge, so the green is relevant. And if we get some other important green cards, then we'll be happy we have this splash. There's a Glorybringer. I do love me Glorybringer. Burst Lightning is good and Charter Course is good, but this card is actually like, the more I play with it, the more impressed I get with just how good it is. Ooh, Swords to Plowshare. So I can have Swords and Path. And then I can wheel this Jace. Yeah. Alright. Alright, we're going to draft like a reasonable deck now. So Storm was kind of open, but we just didn't see the cards in the packs. I mean, maybe I take a Frantic Search. It's not too late to still draft Storm. Like, take Frantic Search, get a last pick Banefire. I'm going to take this because the upside is pretty high if we do end up finding a High Tide. And like, we have to find a High Tide very soon because we don't have much to commit to, right? We don't have any of the payoffs, like no Brain Freeze, nothing like that. And our Jeskai control deck is looking kind of nice. I like the Taxian Probe. That card is a really good combo with counterspells in particular because it just tells you what your opponent is going to be sequencing on what turns. So if they like, you Taxian Probe and you see a handful of 6 drops and nothing else, you know it's relatively safe to tap out on turn like 3. Whereas if you Taxian Probe and see like Channel and then lands in an Emrakul, you just counter the channel. So just having information is so valuable. Goblin Dark Dwellers is really nice having Swords and Path in your graveyard. We also have Fire Ice. It's not that good with Mana Leak. If we play Wheel of Fortune, then that can get there. So I'll take Dark Dwellers. There is Raging Ravine. That helps with the mana. Otherwise there's Avalanche Riders, but I'll take the Ravine. I do think I want Ancient Grudge in my deck. This card is so backbreaking in some matchups. So we can take Nahiri. I am not sure. I'm definitely not playing Mind's Desire right now. I'm not sure about Time Spiral Wheel of Fortune. I feel like it's kind of awkward to play this like controlling like Miscalc, Mana Leak, things like that, and then just give them all the cards back that you just countered. It's not the best thing in the world, but we'll see where we can go. There's an Armageddon. We could take Soulfire because Soulfire is good with Path, Swords, like Mana Leak. I don't think I'm going to be Razor Verge Thicketing. Lodestone is okay. This deck has like too many counter spells to be good with that, so I guess I take Soulfire Grandmaster. We're kind of giving up on the whole Storm Dream. I need more fixing. Our fixing is not good. Siege Gang, I guess. There's a Sun Titan. Do we have anything that's really good with Sun Titan? We have not that much. I'm just gonna pick up a Lightning Helix. That's a very late Wildfire, but I think Repeal is actually better for this deck. We got a last pick Tendrils. So Storm was open, but I didn't really see that many cards that made me like want to go into Storm. Like, even if nobody's taking the cards, the packs could just have like nothing in them for Storm. Given last pick Tendrils, we could feel pretty confident that maybe we get a Brain Freeze, and then we could be, one of my favorite archetypes is like Storm with a very solid plan B, or like, you know, like a mid-range deck that has a Storm kill. Those decks are really fun to draft, because then you're not all in, right? You can just like play this Remand, Miscalc, Mana Leak, Vendilion Click game, and then if the game goes long, you're like, okay, now I'm just going to go High Tide Time Spiral, untap, and kill you. So for that reason, we're going to take Remand. Verdant Catacombs can only get Taiga. I don't think it's not worth going that far. We're going to take Remand. I think this card is really, really good. Prismatic Vista versus Plateau. So Vista can get any color. Plateau is just red-white, so I think Vista's better. There's a Splinter Twin, but I think the fixing is more important. I just have not been impressed with twin decks. Teferi. Teferi's kind of nice here. Stonecoil Serpent is also really good. I don't really point this out, and I should. This card is way better than it looks, because it's an X cost creature, so like, it's good turn 2, it's good turn 6. It has reach and trample, so I like it, but Teferi does a little bit more. Casting sorceries at instant speed, like Time Warp. Oh, there's a Wooded Foothills, so that gets red and green, so that can grab Steam Vents and Taiga. And there's a Johnny! Oh, he's like my favorite Planeswalker. This is a decent Time Warp deck as well. Technically, we can go infinite with 9 mana. Soulfire Grandmaster, Time Warp. Oh man, I think I need to take the fixing if I want this deck to work out though. And then just hope a Johnny or Time Warp comes around, because we're not going to be able to be doing much else. Jite, Geist, or Inspiring Vantage. I have 24 playables, so I think I just need to take the mana in general, but Jite is a really good card. And I could maybe take Jite in Wheel Advantage. Like in some matchups, Jite will just decide the game. It's good with Koth, it's good with Glorybringer, Dark Dweller, Siege Gang, Sphinx. Man. I can't see it being good enough in this deck yet. Well, there's Kiki Jiki. There's also Parallax Wave. Do we have any Parallax Wave combos? Vendilion Click, Siege Gang, not that many. I don't think this is going to be a good Kiki deck, but I'll take it just in case. Okay, well, I guess so. We have Karakas Vendilion Click, though. Oh, boy. I know this looks like an obvious Windmill Slam Pestermite, but Karakas wins matchups. Karakas Vendilion Click is a really good combo. Like, it's very disruptive, and it's just a land. Whereas if we're playing Kiki Jiki, Kiki's like not good with basically anything in our deck except for maybe Glorybringer Siege Gang. And then Pestermite's kind of dead too. Fine, I'll take the Karakas. I passed it up. I don't think this is worth it. Sacred Foundry. I think this land is so disruptive in some matchups. We already have enough playables, and I don't want to put like a bad 5 mana and a bad 3 mana play in my deck when the rest of the deck does a lot of things. Like, we're set up. There's Resto. Actually, this is a much better plan B. Resto is a lot better than Pestermite. Sacred Foundry is a good, it's a red-white. Alright, you know what? We can come back on this. Kiki Resto I like a lot more than Pestermite. And we still have Karakas, so we kind of got everything there. That was nice. Now we can take Direfleet Daredevil. That's good in some matchups. There's our Plateau. Splinter Twin doesn't work with Resto, so we just take the Plateau. Alright, well we kind of got everything. Selfless Spirit, I guess, does something. We got a Johnny! I'm trying to remember what the other card in that pack was we wanted to wheel, but a Johnny's pretty nice. Condemn is also decent. So next pack is the Pestermite pack. Did we get a last pick Pestermite? We did! Okay. Well, sometimes... Wow. That was awesome. Never punished. Okay, now I feel pretty good because I think Caracas was a higher upside. I didn't think Pestermite would wheel. That was kind of fortunate. Given this, I kind of want to put Time Spiral in the deck because we can go Time Spiral. Let's say we have like 7 mana. We Time Spiral, we Pestermite, we untap a land, we play Kiki Jiki. And we just instantly win the game. I kind of wish I had taken the Splinter Twin, but I really did not think Pestermite was going to wheel. That was kind of fortunate. And Gitaxian Probe kind of tells us if the coast is clear. So I don't want Soulfire Grandmaster. Frantic Search seems not that necessary. We don't have much payoff for Nahiri, although she can tutor up like a Restoration Angel. I think I'm going to bring her in against a deck playing artifacts and enchantments though. We have the mana for Grudge. Brawl is not that good in this deck. What else do I cut? Maybe Goblin Dark Dwellers with Path and Swords is pretty nice. And Fire Ice. Maybe it's a little bit... I'll bring this into the matchups where the body is relevant. And then we can get rid of Siege Gang Commander, I think. Because the rest of the deck is actually pretty good. We also have Caracas. Caracas can protect Kiki Jiki as well. And then Time Spiral gives us just a rebuy on our infinite combos. Yeah, this deck actually seems pretty solid now. 2/3/3. So we want triple red, but almost all of our lands fixed for red. We have a Raging Ravine just for value. No forest, that's fine because we have Taiga. And then Vista, so we want at least one of each basic. We have a lot of early white spells, so as far as white goes, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 white sources. Kind of okay going down to 7. We don't need white early. No, 8 is fine. Then blue we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blue sources. Seems pretty low. I kind of want to go up to 9, which might mean cutting a red source. We'll see how much red we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we need a basic plains because of Prismatic Vista specifically. Yeah, this deck seems alright to me. 17 lands, pretty good tempo. Maybe I don't like Koth. He is like threatening with his ultimate, but we don't have that many mountains. And like Koth plus Mana Leak is a bit weird. Maybe Dark Dwellers is better than Koth in this deck, even though it makes our curve a little bit awkward. Yeah, I could see that. Like, we do have some good cards to flash back, and then in matchups, basically I'm siding out Koth, and then in matchups where they don't have that many creatures, we bring in Koth, because then, I mean, he can win the game on his own very fast with an ultimate. So I'm going to play this deck like this. This will be our first time testing the Kiki combo. I know I could have taken Splinter Twin, and probably that would have been good in the deck we ended up with. But I'm pretty happy with getting Caracas with Vendilion Click, protecting Kiki, and like just stopping basically every reanimation show and tell deck that exists. I like it. See you guys round 1. Alright, we were playing against E-Scream 11. Got a pretty good hand. Let's keep. We got their turn first. Okay. I don't need to stop in their upkeep. Thoughtseize would be a little bit disruptive. I'm just going to lead on fetches, I think. So we already have white. So let's Wooded Foothills for a Steam Vent, probably. You can't copy my message, that was my message. Alright, blue-black is scary. I honestly think blue-black midrange might be the best archetype in the cube. This go around, they just added so much stuff. Like you get Ninja, you get Thief of Sanity, you get Dark Confidant, you get all the blue counter spells, you get all the black discard spells. It's really a strong contender. So we get Steam Vents, because I definitely want blue. Yeah, and green is just for, well, there's our other blue. Let's play Vantage, I guess. Hold up, Miscalc. So Thing the Eye is not that scary. We can Chandra it down if things come to that. Hymn to Torok, we will Miscalc, because that can hit Miscalc. So if they Hymn to Torok and have Spell Pierce, like, that's a perfect example of why I think blue-black midrange is so good in here. You have all of the disruptive elements you could ever want. Condemn, okay, that gives us actually an answer to Thing in the Ice, so I feel a little bit safer now. We can play the Vista and pass turn. We're okay drawing one more land, but we don't want to go above 6 mana, really. Opposition. Okay. That's a little bit scary. But they're playing blue-black. Blue-black doesn't have that many, like, token makers, unless they go with, like, Bitter Blossom. Given that, we're kind of okay drawing lands, then. Because they're going to tap down our Steam Vents. There's our green source. Let's... So there are two things I can do here. I can play Caracas, that way it's in play in case they play a legend. That's probably higher upside, so let's just play Caracas. We want to get up to 5 mana to play Glorybringer. Glorybringer can start killing stuff. Chandra can kill Thing in the Ice. If they flip Thing in the Ice, we can condemn it, and eventually we can like land a Consecrated Sphinx. This is probably going to grab an island, honestly. Because I have red, I have white, yeah. Fencer. That's kind of brutal. So they bounce a land and tap down my stuff. Yeah, that's not pleasant. I don't want to Caracas their Venser because they could just do this all over again. We're just going to condemn their Venser. If I even can. Actually, that's kind of particularly brutal. They can tap me out of white mana. That's a pretty sweet interaction. Okay, they left me with white mana. That's good. There's Teferi. Teferi is good as well. So we're going to play this tapped. Pass. They probably don't even attack with Venser is the rough part. And then they just jam a Grave Titan here. Grave Titan would not be good. Okay. I mean, this isn't the worst. They're trying to lock me out of red. That kind of makes sense. Like playing Teferi. So I want to do a couple things. I want to bounce Teferi to get value, but if I downtick Teferi, he just dies. If I uptick Teferi, he goes up to 5. And then they just hit him for 2. I can bounce Opposition, but then they just replay it. I can bounce Thing in the Ice. Actually, that seems okay. Let's bounce Thing in the Ice. I don't want to get rid of Venser. Ooh, Jataxian Probe. So I can see what's going on. But I think I'm better off just waiting. Because I can't make any decisions right now. So I'm better off like waiting. They draw a card. I know more about what's in their hand. And then I can make decisions. If they want to kill Teferi, they have to tap out with Venser, so I'm guaranteed to get like my mana ready. And if I can Jataxian Probe, see the coast is clear for like a Glorybringer, that's pretty good for me. So they tap probably Steam Vents or Inspiring Vantage. I would tap Vantage. Okay, Ravine. So let's see what you got going on. Dark Ritual and a Swamp. Seems good. And they tapped, so I'm going to play Glorybringer here. Get the attack in while I can, because they can just keep back a creature to tap to stop Glorybringer from attacking. But now, attack them and exert. I think I want to kill Thing in the Ice. That's like the most threatening. Yeah, we'll kill Thing in the Ice. And they showed Dark Ritual, which also signifies they have like, I don't know, some type of burst mana storm aspect. So they played a Swamp, which we already saw. They just have Dark Ritual in hand. And they're attacking. Okay. There's a Lightning Helix. What do we want to do here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I kind of want to like Chandra plus Lightning Helix here. Let's start with a Lightning Helix. It's got tap for red. Just to kill Venser. Then play Chandra. Just exile the top card. Guess I should have done that in the other order, but I didn't really want to give them more lands. Then we play Raging Ravine and pass. And we're set up to do some busted stuff. They have Dark Ritual and that's it. They drew another land. So it's Dark Ritual, 1 unknown. Upheaval would be pretty annoying, but still beatable. Alright. So blue-black, Flood. They drew a lot of lands. That seems like a decent matchup for Koth. Also, Nahiri can get rid of opposition, so I like that. We can get rid of Goblin Dark Dwellers. I like Koth is a little bit harder to deal with for blue-black, and Ancient Grudge seemed bad. Do I still want to play the green? Like, Raging Ravine is a decent threat, but against opposition, having lands that enter tapped is kind of a liability. So I can do that, and then Taiga doesn't really help at all. Like, it lets Wooded Foothills fetch red, but it already fetches red, so I just had 2 mountains now. This plays around Wasteland a little bit better. Direfleet Daredevil seems really good in this matchup. I don't know if I love Condemn. It's a good way to deal with some of their stuff. I didn't really see too much of their deck. Yeah, I guess I'll keep it in for now. Actually, Soulfire Grandmaster seems kind of awesome. Remand with buyback? Like, play Soulfire instead of Condemn? Nah. But he can block. Nah, I'll play Condemn. They didn't see it, so they don't know how to play around it. Wooded Foothills can still grab all those mountains, and as far as I'm aware, I don't have any green requirements. Oh boy. I'm on the draw. I think this hand is keepable. I have a good number of blue sources. We have Pester Mite, active Lightning Helix. Any blue mana can draw us a repeal. There we go. We're gonna lead on Vista. Plays around Wasteland and Strip Mine. And if they like play a token, we can repeal it. Mesmeric Fiend. So whatever that takes, we can kill it still. So not that worried about that. The only downside is this tells them what's in our hand. I think their best bet is to take Fire Ice. Yeah, because then we can't like 2-for-1 if they have another X1. But we can just Lightning Helix it. What do they mean? That was the correct pick, I'm pretty sure. I'm not going to fetch. I'm okay drawing more islands. And Mana Leak is a good draw. So again, playing around Wasteland. I don't really feel the need to kill the Fiend yet. Like, Fire Ice is fine. But we can like Helix it at end of turn. More likely we're going to Mana Leak something. I want to save Mana Leak for opposition if possible, because that card is kind of a problem. But if they have like Hymn to Torok, ooh, Baleful Strix. Alright, that's fine. That was most certainly not a misclick for them then, because they have Fire Ice. I have to take this because I can't Lightning Helix because I need to get blue with the Vista. Yeah. There's a remand. Alright, so we can keep taking some hits. I'm not too worried yet. Like, their deck doesn't seem like it damages us too quickly, and having these counterspells up is very important. They don't have mana to Ninja, otherwise that would have been a concern. Simic Signet. I'm okay with that. So now I Helix the Mesmeric Fiend. And again, I don't want to fetch. I would like to draw a land, specifically an island. Chandra. Alright. We pass turn again. I'm not going to Fire Ice. I want to save that for a little bit longer. Oh. See, this is the issue. If we let them attack and they have the Ninja, we actually don't have any way to stop it. So I guess this is actually really brutal. They know we have Fire Ice, so we're representing that. I want to hold up counterspells, but at the same time, I can't really get hit if they Ninja. I guess I'm okay with that risk. I think I need to be okay with that risk. If they Ninja, I can block with Pester Mite. No attack. That's okay. That made it really easy for us. Okay, not too bad. This is gonna get remanded almost for sure. Oh, we'll just counter it. I want to remand because I want to get mana, but opposition does represent kind of an issue for us. Although that does take their whole turn. No, we'll Mana Leak it. I don't want to like let them resolve this. That's a very real way they can win with that deck. Okay, we need to hit a land. Pass turn. I could have repealed their Signet. That would have been interesting. Probably not good, but interesting. So I don't think they have the Ninja because they would have gone for that attack. Almost certainly. They play Emery. Yeah, Emery resolves. I haven't seen too many artifacts from them that I'm scared of. Yeah, Emery doesn't do anything. They have Bribery, which is good to know about. Oh, they have 4 mana. Their best play was Emery with their blue mana. I think I'm just going to kill the Strix and do 1 to the face. I don't want them attacking me with the Ninja. I get the feeling they don't have much going on in hand, given the way that they've played this. So if I like hit a land here, I can just like Chandra down Emery. I don't think they would have Daze. I don't know. I assume nobody has Daze because I never see anyone play it. Remand. Okay, we could have just ran into a trap. They didn't remand Fire Ice, which I guess makes sense. And I just killed a Baleful Strix with an Emery in play. And then they got to remand her. Oh, okay. Citadel is actually pretty scary. Okay, that's really scary. Are they playing Storm? That would make a lot more sense. Like a weird opposition Bolas' Citadel Storm deck. The fact that they're tanking, so I guess you didn't see because of the edit. It's been like a minute since they cast Imperial Seal. The fact that they're tanking this long is a good sign for us. It means they don't have like laid out basically what they want to cast. So I don't think they're playing Storm. Because otherwise you just get Yawgmoth's Will. And then I think you can probably just... Well, they don't have any mana. So that doesn't really work. I guess we'll find out what they got. Cloudskate is decent. Kind of a weird target with Bolas' Citadel. It like denies us mana, which is fine. Opponent's at 10. If they go too low, we can just kill them with like a Pestermite plus a Chandra activation. Snapcaster Mage just for value. Very interesting. Maybe they don't realize they can't cast Imperial Seal? That is almost certainly the case. Oh, they can? Okay. Fair enough. And they hit Mox Diamond off of Bolas's Citadel? That's so lucky. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's really lucky. Because the way we knew we hit the Mox Diamond off Bolas's Citadel, and then they Venser a land. They're at 2 life though. They might just be dead to our Pestermite. Or if we ever get to resolve Chandra and uptick, they just die to that as well. So we go Mountain. They have Bolas's Citadel, they can't use it. I'm going to discard this Time Spiral because it's not useful, but like, let's say they recast Baleful Strix and then we just get them with Pestermite, they just die to that. Sword of Light and Shadow. Okay, so I just have to tap down whatever they equip it to with Pestermite. We'll see if they keep back Emery, but play Pestermite. Unless they have a counter spell. Tap you. Yeah, this is not a good Bolas's Citadel deck. Like, they just spend a bunch of mana denying me lands, but like, I can just attack them for 2 and kill them. They need to recast Baleful Strix off Emery, but then they have 1 mana up, so unless they have specifically Spell Pierce, they're pretty much dead. I guess now they could like draw days off Baleful Strix, but they can't cast very many things off of Bolas's Citadel without dying. And they know about Chandra, like they've seen her. Oh, Ajani Vengeance also does it. I'm gonna lead with Chandra because she's the more obvious pick here. And then Ajani, we can also target their face next turn. Alright, we won the match. I think I only did like 2 damage to my opponent that entire game. Oh boy, got a little ahead of themselves, I think. See you guys next round. Alright, we're here for round 2 against Schumann. 1-1-1-8. We get to win the die roll. We have a decent hand, I believe. Tell our opponent good luck. Yeah, this hand's actually real nice. If we could just like have this opening hand in like every game of Vintage I ever play, I would be pretty happy. We got interaction, we got counter spells, we got creatures, we got things. It's beautiful. We're gonna lead with Wooded Foothills. Plays around again. Wasteland and Strip Mine. I stress this a lot, and most people will like not like, what am I saying? Words are hard. It seems like I'm saying it too much, but when you get got by a Strip Mine turn 1 and you only have like 2 lands in hand, it feels really bad. Are you Caleb Gannon? Yes. That's me. My man! I guess I'll get a Steam Vents now. Yeah, I need this blue. Thank you. You're in one now. Alright, let's draw a land here. Johnny Vengeant, okay. Pass turn. Ooh, they're running out the aggro Den Protector. I think I want to remand this. Mostly, I want to hit land drops. Wow, okay. That's pretty brutal. I guess I should have just let it resolve and swordsed it. So we're not going to hit a land drop. I want to keep Ancient Grudge in hand. I guess I discard Consecrated Sphinx because getting to 6 mana is very unlikely. I remanded mostly so that I could hit a land drop. But now they get to like reuse Den Protector, so it actually feels pretty bad. They have Incubation Druid. What did they? Let's see what their deck is. Opposition Trigon Predator. Oh boy. Alright. So I can cut them off of mana. They did miss a land drop. So I think I'm okay just using swords on the druid. Because I want to counter something scarier later. There's our island, that's good. So I can now probably just not draw step, but like, oh, actually, let's upkeep a Pestermite. That seems kind of nice, because they were missing mana anyway. And putting Pestermite in play is just like a clock. If they counter it, then that uses their turn anyway, because they have to spend mana countering this. Because we know they're stuck on mana. We'll take the 2, don't care too much about that. And then if I draw a land here, I get to a Johnny. Ooh, okay. Untapping their green. Makes sense. So we can do a couple things here. I like a Johnny locking down a land. I also like a Johnny upticking on Pestermite. I'm gonna play a Johnny. If a Johnny resolves, we kind of win. Spell Pierce gets us, but let's just kill Pestermite for now because the threat of a Johnny is pretty strong. And then, do I want to trade off my Pestermite? I kind of want to just play Protect the Queen on a Johnny. Like, now if they tap mana, we can just kill them. Soulfire. Okay, so they do have that combo, I assume. Their deck looks kind of sweet. They got like Den Protector, Soulfire, Grandmaster, Opposition, and all that. So we block here. There's our Time Spiral. So we can a Johnny kill Soulfire, Chandra kill Den Protector, and then we have 2 Planeswalkers in play, and then we can like use our counterspells later. That seems decent to me. Especially given a deck where they're playing like Opposition and Time Walk and things like that. Vivian Reed. Okay. Creature or land only. Geist of Saint Trapped. So I can mana leak that if they don't play a land. I can stop their land. Oh, I can just tap down their planes actually. Direfleet Daredevil doesn't do anything, but they don't get white mana. I don't have double blue, so let's Chandra and see what I hit. No! Glorybringer! Ah! 1 mana short. Can't even hit Planeswalkers. That's kind of rough. And then we draw step, click them. The problem is I don't want them to be able to Vivian Reed, so I guess I end of turn click them. And then click can lock down Reed. Reed does represent a lot of card advantage, and she can find lands too. They found a Plains. I should have clicked them in response to Vivian's activation, actually. So they can play Geist. I can counter Geist with Mana Leak, and Mana Leak is getting worse as the game goes on. But then, like, Vivian Reed becomes a huge problem. Alright, Geist resolves. Oof. I can't really... Oh, this is so hard. Because if Geist resolves, they kill... Oh, that's... Oh, but then I can... Okay, this is nice. I can Mana Leak this, and then I can Daredevil it. That's pretty sweet. And that's kind of an answer to all of my problems. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them. And there's our land. Perfect. So, I'm kind of 1 mana short of doing what I want to do. So we're going to lock them off of, I think, green mana. We do that. We Direfleet, Daredevil, Time Walk. Yeah, we can do this. Add double red. Daredevil. Take your Time Walk. Pretty good. This is only till end of turn. Yeah, so we go like this, cast Time Walk, do this. Kind of want to Vendilion click this Ancient Grudge. I don't think they have any like artifacts. Let's just get rid of this Grudge. Let's see their hand. Sword of Body and Mind. Okay, I'm pretty happy about that. We can get rid of the Deranged Hermit, just leave them with Sword. Then we get another turn. Goblin Dark Dwellers. That doesn't do anything yet. We can attack Vivian Reed and then just play a Dark Dwellers. Let's start with Chandra. Taiga. Okay, they take damage. We attack Vivian Reed and we can actually just kill her if we want to. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they would need to draw a land basically to be able to sword. Okay, so she's dead. The real question is, do I hold up Grudge or do I Dark Dwellers as a blocker? I think I like just Dark Dwellers as a blocker. Mana Leak, Swords of Pleasure is Remand. I'll just take Remand, I guess. I don't have any targets for it, but... So now if they equip and attack with Sword, I just block here and we trade. If they drew something better, can't do much about that. And then eventually Sword isn't really that much of a problem, but we do have Grudge to deal with it. Our only green source is exiled. So we only get the first cast of Grudge. Wow, the scoop. All right. So they had 10 cards we saw. Incubation Druid, Geist. So they're just like Bant, Time Walk combo. So we want to get like enough removal to disrupt that if possible. I think we have a good amount of removal in this deck, which is nice. Nahiri to deal with opposition is good. Just good insurance. Probably a little bit better than... I do like Dark Dwellers rebuying all this removal. So Grudge can deal with specifically Sword of Body and Mind. I'm not too worried about that. We have white and red removal, so like, sure. So I think I just bring in Nahiri. I guess Nahiri, if they tap the sword, can deal with it that way. And there's a good hand. Again, just missing lands, but we can get there. So we can Wooded Foothills for... I think I'm going to sword this Avacyn's Pilgrim, and then Wooded Foothills for Steam Vents. Getting white. Yeah, that seems to go pretty well for us. Sensei's top. Nothing else seems good. Resto Kiki. So as long as we can hit lands, which we've been really bad at doing this whole match, we should be okay. I'm very tempted to just cycle this miscalc, but I think it represents some good value against this opponent. Wow, are they doing this to hit mana? Incubation Druid. So I can cut them off of mana this way by countering it, because they... Sensei's topped into Incubation Druid. I think we're just going to counter the enablers, or the payoffs in this situation. Get Steam Vents. There's a remand, okay. Well, if they don't play anything, I'm just going to cycle this miscalc, but I can't believe how badly we've been at drawing lands. Sensei's top, I can't remand that. Well, I could, but it doesn't do very much. Okay, so they're just topping for lands. Miscalc is getting a lot worse, so we're just going to cycle this because we need mana. There we go. Okay, now I feel pretty... Okay, now I feel very confident. I just need to hit red sources, really. I have remand up to stop things that are a little bit scary. Time Walk is that like doesn't do that much for them. Opposition. I think we remand that. There's our Mana Leak. Perfect. And our Lightning Helix. Also perfect. Red, white. Kill that. We have Mana Leak back. They don't have double blue anymore, so they might not even be able to cast it. And they don't have many like creatures in play. If we draw another red source, we can start Glory Bringering. Glory Bringering. that's an expression right there. Den Protector. Getting back Incubation Druid. Sure. If I draw a red source, I'm just gonna Glory Bringer. Nahiri. Man, this is kind of brutal. Let's get down Nahiri now, because she can deal with opposition. Den Protector only hits for 3 and she goes up to 6. And she can hopefully find us a land. I'm gonna discard Dire Fleet Daredevil, I think. They haven't played any, like, things. Okay, there's a land. It's an island. We really want red sources, but we'll take it. So now if they play opposition, Nahiri kills it. If they don't play opposition, Nahiri kills Den Protector at least. And then I can have Mana Leak to deal with opposition. Yep. And all the parts of the Kiki combo are actually in hand, so Nahiri can't even like help us with that. I could flash in a Restoration Angel here, actually. That keeps Nahiri's like toughness pretty high. Kind of like that. Yes. I kind of want to discard Kiki Jiki, but he does represent just a way to win the game if I draw more lands, so let's just get rid of Pestermite. Or, yeah, let's just get rid of Pestermite. There's our Path to Exile, okay. Play land, pass. So we have a defensive Resto. We have Mana Leak for opposition, but if they tap out for opposition, then they, like, we just kill it with Nahiri. And then we just need to find red mana, which has been exceedingly difficult so far. See if they attack. We want them to. Nice. Right into our trap. Resto. Not blinking anything. That's okay. Block. So now Nahiri checks opposition. They can, if they play it, like, still Time Walk us for 1 turn. So I actually am just going to let it resolve. They can tap down my red, but she just exiles enchantments, so that's fine. Mana Leak has more value later on. They might even tap down my white. They just conceded the match. That was not any... They had 4 cards in hand. Oh my god. It's gonna be so long before I do red mana. Well, this opponent, Schumann, when you're watching this back, you concede way too early, man. This game was like, we kill opposition. Even if you have all lands in hand, I could have all lands in hand. And I was a long way away from casting like half the cards in my hand. Alright, we're in the finals. See you guys there. Alright, we're playing against Average Joey. This hand is medium but keepable. Maybe it's not. It is really slow for Vintage Cube. This wouldn't even be a good hand in Legacy Cube. And we're playing against red? Okay. Well, okay. Let's lead on Mountain. Of all my lands, I would prefer Mountain to get strip mined. Because I have 2. I'm assuming, I don't know, turn 1 Wandering Fumarole tapped can signify a lot of different decks. But I'm just feeling like this opponent's playing an aggressive deck for whatever reason. Okay, never mind. Okay, we were completely off here. Gotta recalibrate, figure out what's going on over there. I like it. I like whatever's going on. I want to see an artifact here. Coalition Relic. Didn't want to see that one. I don't like what's going on anymore. Take it back. Start over. Wooded Foothills. So I can Teferi bounce Leovold to buy some time. That makes them play Leovold again next turn. Oh, not the worst. Not the worst. Sure. I know it draws them a card because of Leovold's ability, but I also need to draw cards because my hand doesn't do anything right now. And I might as well get my Teferi in while I can. So they draw. I think I get to draw because he's gone. Okay, now I have Path, which can deal with Leovold. Alright, now this isn't too bad. They're only up 1 card on us after this Path. I guess technically 2 because Path finds them a land. But that's how it works anyway. Given what I'm seeing, it is... Ooh, no! They can't Signet into Leovold. Why? Yep. Alright, alright. Fire Ice. So, uptick Teferi for sure. They can't cast anything, so we're going to grudge their Signet now. Just cut them off of... Oh! That sucks. I forgot I gave them an extra card this way. I was supposed to Path Leovold and then grudge their Signet. That's... Leovold is a very hard card to play around, but at least he's killable, unlike Narset. So we're going to play Wooded Foothills in case we want to flashback Grudge. And then we're going to Path Leovold in their upkeep. Unfortunate, Leovold has really done some work against us here. Yeah, that was bad sequencing. I should have just passed. I was worried about giving them blue mana in their upkeep, but they can't actually cast spells anyway. So we just gave them 1 extra like card for no reason, basically. Still beatable. They have 8 cards in hand now. Yeah, Leovold's a good card. I want them to play a creature that dies to Glorybringer. On the positive side, we have Teferi in play. And that's pretty important. Like, they can't counter anything. If they try and attack him with the Fumarole, we can just kill it with Fire and Ice when they switch the power toughness. Baleful Strix. Yeah, it's a good one. I can kill it with Grudge, which I might do, depending on what they do. Vampire Nighthawk. Okay, their deck is weird. This looks like a recurring Nightmare deck, maybe. I think I'm just going to grudge the Strix while I can. Getting Taiga. I don't currently have double blue, but that's okay. Because I do want to keep Teferi around. And yeah, in order to do that, we're going to kill the Nighthawk with Glorybringer. Uptick Teferi. If they play a mountain and kill Teferi this turn, that's fine. It doesn't look like their deck has that much red, so like the odds of them actually killing us with Wandering Fumarole aren't too high. Alright, don't need to stop in their upkeep anymore. We'll see what happens. And that does take their whole turn, right? They have 7 cards in hand. If their best thing is killing my Planeswalker, sure. It's not. Okay. I can work with this. Grave Titan. Oh, that would have been a nice card to mana leak. Direfleet Daredevil. They don't have any spells yet. So there's a few things I can do. I think the one I like most is just Teferi bounce Grave Titan and then counter it on the way down with mana leak. Because they're going to be able to kill it with zombie tokens anyway. Or at least put it like low enough that I can't do anything. So I'm going to go mana leak, fire. I'm not going to Daredevil. So let's just play Steam Vents tapped. Pass turn. I wouldn't imagine their deck playing Force of Will, but maybe it's possible. Wow. I can, I guess, Mana Leak the Duress. That buys me a turn before they play Grave Titan. That was a good Duress from them, though. And then if they pay 3 for Mana Leak, I just use Fire to kill the zombie. I still have to deal with the Grave Titan, but I do have Swords to Plowshares in my deck, and I'm going to resolve a Consecrated Sphinx next turn. This is a very interesting play. Yeah, they pay for it. I don't want to yield here, so we just cast Fire to kill a zombie. That way, there are no targets for Duress. They know it's going to happen, but can't do much about it. Uh-oh. What is this? I mean, they do have a full hand, so they could be doing anything here. Coercive Portal. Not the end of the world, because that gives us more cards with Sphinx. There's an island. So... yeah, let's play island, play Consecrated Sphinx. Holding up basic planes. I'm going to attack with Glorybringer, but not Exert. Because I want... well, first of all, I'm pressuring them in the air very quickly. Like, they're down to 9. But secondly, if they, like, tap out for a Grave Titan here, then I want to be able to... they vote Carnage. That's good news for me, actually. Let's vote Homage. Because I draw, like, so many cards this way. And they saw my Consecrated Sphinx. But yeah, so they... I think I can actually just kill them with Kiki, but I want to keep Glorybringer's Exert available in case I drew something like Lightning Helix, so I can Exert Glorybringer, then Lightning Helix down the Grave Titan. As it stands, I'm just going to win the game with a Kiki copying a Glorybringer, but actually that's going to be pretty sick. If they play Grave Titan here, I play Kiki, copy Glorybringer, double Exert, kill the Glorybringer. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can also hold up Remand through all of that. Thief of Sanity, okay. That's interesting. I can still kill them. I can also just Lightning Helix and attack. So I think I'm going to go for... I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. So I believe I can Kiki Jiki and hold up Remand / Lightning Helix. Liliana can get back Vampire. Okay. They're not dead on board, but they're very close. And that's why we saved the Glorybringer Exert. That was a weird attack if you do that. Okay, this game's over. Condemn. So we go Plateau. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kiki Jiki. Kiki Jiki makes a copy of you, and that'll do it. Attack them and Exert. Attack them. And then the Exerted Glorybringer kills their Thief of Sanity. Good work, Kiki Jiki. I should have Direfleet Daredeviled for Duress, but I don't know. If Slaughter Pact is in the cube or something, who knows? Okay, against Leovold. I'm trying to think if I want Nahiri against them. Their deck is kind of weird. It seems a little bit weak to Planeswalkers. It is interesting that I won that game, even with all of those, like, missteps. I keep citing out Dark Dwellers for Nahiri, but I kind of like it. They had some signets for Grudge, so I will keep it in, because their mana seems really weak, because they're trying to force Leovold in there. I know they turn 3'd Leovold, but that seems unlikely. They're like mono black splashing a Leovold, and Crocus is, while it's not the best answer to Leovold, it is a answer. An answer? It is an answer. That seems more correct. Ooh, Creeping Tarpit. Ancient Grudge. So I don't think I'm going to need swords turn 1. Wasteland from their deck is like greedy, but Wasteland would be a lot worse for me than needing swords. I don't know what they could play here that I need swords for. And then Remand plus Grudge is pretty comforting. I can handle most threats here. Finding another blue would be nice for Vendilion Click. And then Kiki Jiki just wins the games. But again, keep in mind, I have not won a single game on the back of Kiki Jiki here. Ooh, Liliana of the Veil. So we can Remand. There's a repeal. And then if they play Liliana next turn, we can Pestermite. Hallowed Fountain. Let's just draw step Vendilion Click, actually. Oh, actually even better. Let's upkeep, tap down their Lava Claw Reaches, maybe? Cut them off of red with Pestermite. Because I want to have Caracas Vendilion Click. Tap down the red. Because if I like draw step Vendilion Click, see something better than Liliana, because Liliana isn't that scary with all these flash creatures. I would prefer to have Karakas so that they can't kill my Vendilion Click, because I think this combo is like really, really good, and that's why like way early in the draft. Yeah, exactly there, Liliana's Triumph. I lose my Pestermite. They lose their mana though. Way early in the draft, I took. No, I don't want to do that. I took Karakas over Pestermite, and I think this is like a perfect example of why I think it's just better. I've never won a round. I didn't do anything with the Kiki combo. What is their mana base? But Karakas like is good insurance, and it's just a land. Like it doesn't cost me anything. So now we're going to draw step Vendilion Click them. Hopefully take a Leovold, and then if they Liliana, they have to Edict, but if they do, then I can save it with Karakas. And basically they're going to be drawing bad cards like every turn. Holy cow. Whoa. Okay. So they go up to 5. I think at this stage of the game I take Fact or Fiction. If they want a Liliana, that's okay. They can actually go Signet into Liliana. I don't want to let them draw more. Their deck is kind of sweet. They play Island. I'm actually kind of okay with Liliana upticking because their hand is like way more powerful than mine. I am scared of Grave Titan, but I have Swords to Plowshare, so I guess it's not that bad. I'd rather Swords Dragonlord or Tarka, so I would like to... What do I want to do here? I guess I'll just see what they play, because they could have drawn something better than Fact or Fiction. Okay, there's the Signet. There's the Liliana. Oh, Baleful Strix. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I really want to hit a land here. But as it stands, if I kill that, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. So they can't Atarka. Okay, that's moderately problematic. So their hand is Liliana, Atarka, Grave Titan. So the question I want to ask myself is, do I let them start pack ratting? Because I have Swords, I also have Repeal, but I think I have to spend the full mana cost. Because it's a token that's a copy, so the token has 2, like a CMC of 2. If I Swords pack rat, then I have like a lot of trouble dealing with the Tarka. This is hard. Well, I'm not going to be attacking with Vendilion Click. So I guess I can defer my decision here 1 turn. Okay, that's pretty good. So, yeah, let's kill both of these. I didn't draw the land that I wanted, but that's okay. Karakas... Oh, I forgot Karakas just deals with Dragonlord Atarka, so they can't even really play that. I didn't hit a land, and I can't also grudge the Dimir Signet, which is a little bit sad, because that represents the ability to cast Grave Titan. I can't mana leak it. So I think if they play Grave Titan, I just Swords it. They have 2 zombies. I can go Swords plus Repeal a token. Actually, this is fine. If they play Liliana and uptick, then they're discarding stuff like this. This looks like a Grave Titan. Okay. That's fine. So Grave Titan down, 1 unknown. So I'm going to repeal the token first. Get more information and then Swords. Okay. Still gonna Swords. Wooded Foothills. Okay. Let's play the Foothills. Get a red. I have double blue. I think I want Taiga here for Ancient Grudge Flashback. And just grudge the Dimir Signet right now. Pass turn. I'm going to take a hit off the zombie, but I now have Vendilion Click. I don't want to Vendilion Click them in the draw step because then they just Liliana downtick. And I think having Vendilion Click is like a very good way for us to close out this game. But I will end of turn Vendilion Click because I think the odds of them having an instant speed kill spell are particularly low given I know the contents of their hand. And if they just play Liliana and uptick, that's totally fine too. I can probably just get rid of Nahiri. Because Nahiri doesn't do that much. Her ultimate goes and finds Kiki Jiki. Yeah, I'd rather operate at instant speed, I think. And Restoration Angel blinking Vendilion Click is going to be kind of awesome. So they discard a Tarka. If they have a counterspell, so be it. Look at your hand. Duress Consecrated Sphinx. Guess I get rid of Consecrated Sphinx. I leave them with Duress. There's a plateau. I guess at this point I just empty my hand. That seems best. Let's attack Vendilion Click. Or let's attack Liliana, I mean. So now she can't Edict. And then I want to play her on Duress, so I want to play Chandra. I want to keep up that if possible. 1, 2, 3, 4 for Chandra. And then Chandra adds double red, and then I Restoration Angel the Vendilion Click, see what's in their hand. Leave them with just Duress and then the top of their library. Duress and Ephemeral, so I don't want to give them anything. They can't kill Chandra with Creeping Tar Pit, so they have 1 turn to draw a relevant card. Otherwise, like, to save Liliana, they have to discard one of the cards in their hand. Or, I mean, they could cast a Duress, but it's like discarding it. And then if they don't, we have Vendilion Click Caracas for the rest of the game, which should just close it out. And then obviously if we draw Kiki Jiki, we just win with Restoration Angel. Okay, they play the Ephemeral. They get rid of Duress. Their deck is super weird, man. I like it. Because their fixing seems okay. It's unfortunate that their fixing is tap lands. But in matches like this, it's actually kind of good because all of their creatures represent some amount of, all of their lands represent some amount of pressure. I think they're going to Tar Pit the Chandra. Yeah. So Chandra's not long for this world. Unless I draw a removal spell. Teferi Time Raveler. That's pretty good. Let's uptick Chandra. Mana Leak. No! Alright, I don't have enough blue to do everything I want. Attack Liliana. So she dies. We keep back Resto to hold the Ephemeral. Lava Color reaches at bay, but they're going to kill Chandra anyway. And I think I'm going to Teferi the zombie. So I'm okay swinging out this turn. Yeah, I'll give them 1 draw step to like find something. And then like Teferi plus Caracas Vendilion Click, like all of that is very much going to close the game out. I still have Ancient Grudge in the graveyard. I can't forget about that one. Play Teferi, kill their zombie. Ooh, a Johnny. That's going to be good. A Johnny tapping down the Tar Pit. I like that a lot. So I can't draw step yet, but we will be able to. They drew a land, which 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. They're 1 mana away from being able to activate this and this. Right now, each one costs 3, and then they have to obviously be untapped to be able to attack. The art on both of these cards is really cool, though. And this one. All the land, just the art in Magic in general is so beautiful, but like, look at the art on this card. It's so awesome. I don't even know what Ephemeral is, but I like it. Okay, they're activating Tar Pit, kind of what we thought would happen. Killing Chandra, also what we thought would happen. But with Teferi in play, anything we do, they can't stop us from. Path to Exile on a land is actually kind of awesome. So we're going to uptick Teferi. Let's play a Johnny. And I want to hold up Caracas plus Path, I guess. Play a Johnny. A Johnny keeps Tar Pit tapped down. I think I'll just attack with a Vendilion Click. If they want to spend their turn attacking with Ephemeral, like they can. I suppose, actually, I should have attacked with... that would have been better. I attacked them with Restoration Angel, keep back Vendilion Click to block, and then I block their land, and then Caracas Vendilion Click back to hand. Because I wanted Caracas Vendilion Click anyway. Yeah, that would have been better. It's a much better way to burn their mana. Sure. Well, this worked out regardless. Alright, so Johnny's gonna kill the Vampire Nighthawk. That lets them untap with Tar Pit, but that's okay. And play an island, attack them for kind of like pressuring them here. And they can't do anything like outside of their sorcery speed stuff, so they can't disrupt this. Draw step, Vendilion Click them. Still holding up Path and Grudge just in case. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Vraska costs 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. So I think I leave them with the Scarab God. Vraska's a little bit annoying. I want to be able to Path to Exile the Scarab God. So we'll just take Vraska, leave them with that thing. Because Vraska killing Click is like, eh. If they just play Scarab God, they don't have mana to activate him, so I just exile it. It's fine. If they don't play Scarab God this turn, then I can Vendilion Click it next turn. Basically, like, I see them during their draw step. If they do something during their, like, I know what they're going to be able to do during their turn. So if they draw a land next turn and can play the Scarab God and activate him in the same turn, then I have to take the Scarab God because Path doesn't answer it. The downside of this is I have to let, I think, both of my Planeswalkers die if they go for that plan, because they can, no, they don't have double black. So they can't kill both, they can only kill one. We'll see which one they target. Killing Teferi. They just have the Scarab God in hand. I don't mind that. Plains, okay. More mana is not that bad. So we keep Creeping Tarpit tapped. So that denies them a mana. So now even if they draw a land, Scarab God's not live and they're dead next turn. They can do stuff during their draw step, but either way we're hoping to fade a top deck. So I think I would rather keep Karakas around. No, there's some really messed up stuff they could draw. Like, I don't know, Burning of Jinye or something like that. The Scarab God and Narset. I think Narset is... Scarab God costs 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. Narset is scarier than a random card, so we'll give them a random card. I guess the upside of Narset is that she takes mana, like to cast and then activate. So if they play Narset, they only have 4 mana. We could beat an Upheaval because we have Resto and mana to float. Trying to think of like what cards in the format could do it here. Bribery doesn't really do it, I don't think. I have a Consecrated Sphinx, but I could just path that. Their Atarka is gone. Reanimating Dragonlord Atarka would be somewhat problematic. Attacking a Johnny with Wandering Fumarole is not. That's fine. Alright, I'm just gonna path this now. Because a Johnny, basically they have 1 card in hand and they need to deal with 2 of these cards. I no longer have an answer to the Scarab God, but they need to kill 2 things with 1 card and only 2 mana. And I don't know if that exists. Because now a Johnny can do 3 and these can do 3. Alright, they're saying GG, so that appears to be... Ooh, Time Spiral. We could have a little fun here. Ah, man, they scooped. Alright, that's another trophy. Man, we are cruising today. We're just in general. That was a 306 as well, I didn't even realize. Beautiful, beautiful. I think this type of deck just does the best in Vintage Cube because so many people make, myself included, very much so, make decks that are kind of clunky or out there. You know, you're trying to assemble like 2 cards and just cheap answers, man. Like Mana Leak, Miscalc, Remand, like Swords to Plowshares and Path to Exile. Those, like that core of this deck kind of did almost everything. And then it really doesn't matter what the rest of your cards are. Like 3 mana Planeswalkers and like some 4 mana plays that can gain value every turn are good. But the rest didn't matter. Thing to point out, I never once used the Kiki combo. I never needed it. Kiki Jiki was just a dead card almost all the time. And that's kind of why I don't prioritize it. It's most of the time just worse than playing other cards that will be good for the rest of the game. Because if you're in a position to like tap out and Kiki combo someone, you're already in a winning position because that means you either have, you know, like Teferi in play untouched, or you've seen their hand and you have counter spells to back up their removal, things like that. You've exhausted them. So like just playing Restoration Angel as a 4 mana 3/4 flash is sometimes just better than playing it as a combo piece with Kiki Jiki. I still think it's probably worth putting him in your deck. Like in this deck, I don't think I would cut him, but it is interesting to think about like if we just take out Kiki Jiki, put in like Koth or Nahiri instead. Like we take out Kiki Pestermite, we put in Koth Nahiri. Does this deck get better? It might. It honestly might get better. And hopefully you saw how good Karakas was with Vendilion Click. So like that pick makes a bit more sense. I know there will be people who are confused, but hopefully that helps show it. It'd be more obvious with Venser and if we had played against Reanimator. Because when your opponent reanimates Griselbrand and you just bounce it to your hand, it feels really good. Thank you so much for watching. This is nearing the end of Vintage Cube, but probably you're seeing this recorded much in the future because I released them late. I'm gonna still record a few more, and then hopefully, depending on how the time works out, Vintage Cube might be coming back up when you're seeing this. See you guys soon.